soldiers kind of made it clear kind of what they're looking for and kind of like that really?
Well, I think a big concern for soldiers right now is the reduction in the size of the Army, and that is really about, okay, what do I need to do to be able to stay, and what is going to happen as we move forward with our ability to train? Are we going to deploy? Where will we be deploying? What are the opportunities for the future? And that's generally the same thing that I hear every place else that I go. So, you know, it's very similar. I think more folks are satisfied with being here at Fort Drum, and I think that makes a difference.
Kind of talk to us a little bit about the soldier reductions. You know, this week 500 majors are going to be getting the notice that they'll be leaving the Army. Kind of talk through the difficulties of making those cuts, and you know what kind of message you want soldiers to hear about how the Army's doing it.
Well, I think it's important to understand that the Army has a mission as part of the Joint Force to provide trained and ready forces for combatant commanders. And in order to do that, you've got to have a specific size force. And so as we continue to reduce the size of the Army, there's great concerns that at some point we are not, as an Army, going to be able to fulfill our obligation not only to that combatant commander, but also to the American people. So as we work through this, we try and do a lot of detailed planning. Sequestration is the biggest challenge for us because we don't know what the bottom will be. So you spend a lot of time going through all different variations of, you know, what this will do to the force mix between the Guard, the Reserve, and active component, and you do the best you can. You know, with both the captains and the majors, you know, those reductions are unfortunate. It's not like it's something that we want to do, but it's necessary to meet those mandated force levels that Congress makes for us each year. We're doing a lot more with NCOs, you know, so you've had approximately 1,600 or so captains and majors. We've had 500 or so NCOs this year, and that number will quadruple next year and become even higher in 2016. So, you know, this is not just an officer issue, it's an issue for every single enlisted soldier, non-commissioned officer, and officer in the Army.
There have been some complaints that some of the appearance regulations have put more of a focus on style rather than the soldier's substance, the quality that they do their job. What do you say to folks who kind of go in that direction?
I say that people that have that type of an aspect are really uninformed about what the Army profession is and what we expect of soldiers. We are a uniformed force. That means that there are certain things that we tolerate, like hairstyles and haircuts, with a left and right limit. Tattoos are a part of that. Back in 2005, we made a conscious decision that in order to grow the Army quickly and reduce the amount of time people are deployed, that we change our regulation and allow more people who are otherwise qualified to come into the Army. However, we did not a very good job of enforcing that standard across the force. People were focused on deploying and fighting, and so we tolerated some things that as we had time to take a look at and reflect, we need to make some changes. We don't have an issue with tattoos. We have an issue with tattoos that do not reflect the Army and its profession. And I will give you a couple of examples. Let's say that you have a tattoo written in Arabic on your forearm, and everybody that doesn't speak Arabic thinks that's really cool. But in Arabic, it may mean something similar to pork-eating infidel. Okay, as an Army, we're supposed to be culturally aware and treat people with dignity and respect. And if we're in anywhere that people speak Arabic, that would be offensive to them. We can't tolerate that type of thing. And that's the type of issue we looked at, is what is okay, what can we accept, and then enforce the standard that says this reflects poorly on the Army, it's sexist, it's racist, or it's extremist, and we're not going to tolerate that in our profession.